Hiya friends, welcome to the Sun Rant. Yes, okay, so today's rant is all about the cold. Because as you can see or maybe have seen, I've been playing in it. Been playing in the cold. And the cold has been a good teacher so far, and I'm sure that she will teach me much more than I have ever thought that I would learn from temperature change in water. But I wanted to talk about why and how. So let's start with the how. I don't like being cold. I really like being warm. I have never liked the idea of being cold. Ever. Like I wear multiple layers. I have toques, I have coats, I have like even in the summertime, like I like to be cozy and I like to be warm. So this concept of being cold was like, bleh. I don't like it. I avoided it, kind of like meditation. Same thing. I'm like, I know it's good for me somehow, some way, but like I'm not gonna do it. Fuck it. And then you see people doing it, and you're like, they're so cool, like good job, But like in your mind, you're like, fuck those people. like I want to do that, but I can't do it. Maybe that was just me. And then I started being like less judgy and more like I'm gonna try it. So the beginning of December I started just dipping my toes in water whenever I'd take my dog for a walk to the park that we go to in the morning, and I would just dip my toes in and I'm like, fuck, this is cold. And then I felt the instant like circulation change and that heat come over the my feet after, and then I was like, oh weird, that whole like left side of my baby toe and left side of my foot is like fucking cold, like the circulation hasn't come back there, that's weird. And then as I kept doing that like daily, I noticed different changes in my circulation, and like feet were different, toes were different, ankles were different. Like I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Like it made me curious. It made me very curious about why things are changing on a daily basis like that in my body. Very similar to how I feel about yoga. So then, yeah, I started doing like full body stuff just in the shower. Like I would turn the faucet or the shower head on and then get in right away instead of like waiting a couple seconds until it warms up. I would get in, stand in there for like 5 to 10 seconds, feel the cold, and I'm like, fuck, this is fucking terrible. I fucking hate this. And then I eventually started noticing that part of my brain. And that part that like comes in right away and it's just like, no, don't do this. It's not comfortable. This is uncomfortable. Don't fucking do this. You don't want to be cold. And then I'm like, then the other part of my brain, wherever that is like, no, you're doing this. You're doing this. You're doing this. And then that part overpowered the other part. And then we're here today, basically. So in the last couple days, I have been able to actually go into the water, and that felt so good. It felt like such an accomplishment to be able to have like worked like a month basically up to that point, and then getting into the water and not thinking about it. That was like the most important part, honestly, for me personally, is that I just didn't think about it. I just took my clothes off and walked in the water, and that's kind of the same approach that I had with skydiving. I didn't think about it. I just did it, and like being able to work my way up in time. So I think it was like a minute and then maybe like 2.5 minutes today. I want to work my way up to 5 minutes. I want to work my way up to like putting like the water up to my neck. I don't want to submerge my head. I get quite lightheaded in the water already, so I'm not going to do that, but I want to be able to work my way up to like my neck and my arms and my hands in the water. Right now I can't do that. I have to really focus on breathing when I'm in there too, and just that whole combination of the cold and the breath and your body in the water and you're doing something uncomfortable. Not only are you incredibly present in that moment, which I really want to focus on this year, but fuck, it feels good. It feels so good to know that you can do something that you once thought you couldn't. And that is mental grit. That is mental presence. That is mental fortitude. That is mental focus. That is mental strength, you know, like all of this. The cold is such a good teacher. It's such a good teacher. We can do this with like anything though, right? It doesn't have to be cold. It can be archery, it can be rock climbing, it can be hiking, it can be just walking. Anything that makes you more present and more focused will long term help you in so many different ways. And we know this. We know this. We know this. So let's do this. Yeah? Let's do this. So, on that note, I'm really excited to be bringing The Cold is Only Temporary, a little program, to the students that I'm working with. I start with them. We start a new term pretty quick here. And this is going to be a program that I'm bringing into the yoga world. And yeah, I'm really excited. I tried this with them the very beginning of the school year. So in September when like the water was still warm. And I had different students than I do now. I have a couple that are the same, which is cool. But yeah, I'm excited to expose them to this theory and this. It's like a concept or whatever. This. I'm excited to expose them to this because I think that not only will this reinforce mental grit, and that's the school's mantra is joy and grit. It will teach them that the cold is only temporary. Everything that we have in life, every emotion that we feel, every experience that we have, every love, loss, grief, sadness, anger, happiness, all of that stuff is just temporary. And being able to understand that at a young age, like grade 9, 10 primarily, 11, 12 too, but definitely that age group. Fuck, if I would have had some kind of practice like that back then, I'd be way further than I am now. I know that. I know that I wouldn't have this like clinging attachment to things as much as I do. And I think more that no, how do I say this? Like, because kids nowadays are so attached to their phones and technology, they have such a hard time like letting go of things, you know? So this technique, using the cold, will hopefully show them that like you have to let go at some point in time. You can't hold on so tight. You can't have these expectations of yourself of being able to do this stuff and then realize that when it doesn't happen, your life actually doesn't fall apart, and that university that you thought you really wanted to get into in England really isn't as special as you think. You can still be you and be as creative as you want to be, and realize that you're gonna be okay. I don't know. That end of that part just got all fuckery, but I think you get the point. So yeah, if you're interested in getting into the cold water, I would suggest just like doing your feet first, or 5 to 10 second cold shower, and just see what it's like. And just see what your brain says, because it's an interesting back and forth game that the brain plays. So quiet that motherfucker, listen to that motherfucker, and get in there and immerse yourself in the cold therapy. Until next time, friends, be kind.